Hi, Capricorn. Welcome to your February 2018 Astro Update. It's Raina here. So, Capricorn, in February, you have Saturn making its way in the early degrees of your sign. Saturn is very comfortable here. This is your first house of the self. For some of you, you're going to want to kind of discipline yourself as it relates to your body. Maybe you're going to be working out and sculpting your body. Actually, Capricorn rules the skeletal system. So you may be trying to get more limber, or maybe this has something to do just with your image. You want to be more professional, what have you. In addition to this, I'm looking at Mars because Mars is our ambition. It's what drives us to do things. And for you, with Mars in Sagittarius all month long, this is your 12th house. So you might feel a little bit hamstrung in February in terms of trying to make things happen in a tangible, visible way. Because the 12th house is a hidden house. It's a water house. It's dealing with internal issues. It's not something that is very out there, externalized. And so there may be this sense of you feeling a need to emphasize spirituality, which actually would be a good thing, especially if you can marry it, couple it with physical movement like Hatha Yoga, because then you get the best of both worlds. You get the spiritual, stimulation, plus you're doing that contemplative thing. Because actually Hatha Yoga, even though it's a physical type of yoga, was designed to make a person more capable of sitting in meditation. And what happened, as often happens in the world, is that it becomes a thing unto itself, and people start to, they probably saw the benefits it had for the physical body, and they just focused on that and not the deeper thing, which is actually the stilling of the mind. Okay. So anyway, so you may feel still a little bit draggy. You have had the sun come into your first house. Now the sun is actually in the second house for most of the month, which is a great house for Capricorn. It's an earth house. In the universal chart, it's ruled by Taurus. So it's the money that you earn. But you have that Mars energy. Once it leaves Sagittarius in March, then you'll really be on point. 100%. I'm talking about on the physical level. Right now, you may still feel like you're tying up loose ends and stuff like that. So on the 10th of the month, Venus is going into your third house, which deals with your local area, your siblings, and communication. So this means that for about the first week and a half, you have Venus in the second house, which is really awesome for money because Venus rules that house in the sign of Taurus. So Venus can bring money with her, and in the money house, it's pretty much a done deal. But of course, this is a general reading, so I can't make any guarantees to you that you're going to increase your income. But you may find it. I have found that when there have been certain transits, like for me, it was Jupiter in the second house, transiting the second house, I was able to increase my money, but it didn't come from my work. So in other words, you can possibly look forward to an increase in money from whatever source it comes through, not just from what you earn. And with the second house, it's also about your possessions. So it could be, and this includes luxury items. So you could have enough money where you're able to purchase those things that you don't need, but that you have been coveting or that you've been wanting for quite a while. And so then on the 10th, Venus goes into the third house, and it harmonizes relationships with siblings and cousins and your neighbors, and it can lead to any kind of profit that you make with internet-based businesses, communication that is done by either the internet or public speaking. Teaching or training is favored here, and with Venus, there could be a monetary gain somehow. I guess the big news of the month is the solar eclipse, which is a very powerful new moon happening on the 15th of February at 27 degrees of Aquarius. So there is that second house again for you, Capricorn. And I just wanted to reiterate that the second house is very harmonious for Capricorn because it's an earth house. And you rule the 10th house, which is also an earth house because you're an earth sign. And the area that you rule is the house of career. So this is very copacetic type of energy, and we're talking about a solar eclipse. So this is like a very powerful new beginning in terms of how you make your money. Do not be fixated on the 15th of February, however, because this can have a long-range effect and take you well into the spring and summer in the Northern Hemisphere. Obviously, I'm referring to, let's just say, the next 6 months or so. And on the 17th, a couple days later, Mercury goes into that third house. Now, Mercury rules the third house. So it's in the second house for half of the month, or a little bit more than half the month. And Mercury in the second house is having your mind on your money. Not only maybe reviewing what your expenses are, what's coming in, what's going out, but also the wheels may be turning in your head about ideas that you have about making money, because remember that the sun will be in that sector too, and it's a very creative influence. So on the 17th, Mercury goes into that third house. There may be some kind of internet project that involves you speaking or writing. So you may have a blog, you may have a YouTube channel, and you're very communicative dealing with that. You may be getting in touch with siblings. Perhaps you were on the outs and now Venus is there and it's harmonizing things and now you're talking again. And then the sun goes into that chatty Cathy third house on the 18th, a day later. So the sun is a healing energy. It's a creative energy, great for growing an internet business or some kind of a YouTube channel. One of the things I keep saying about YouTube is because it really is the vehicle for our time when it comes to a lot of outreach. That's how I feel about it, having my own channel. Now, some people really specialize in certain social media areas. Like some people specialize in Instagram or Facebook, and they, create their own little following through some other areas. And this may be true for you, or maybe you're just exploring it because you have some ideas that you want to try out. And February is a great month for all of this because it's the last month in quite a while, I don't know exactly when there's going to be a total green light. There's not going to be any retrogrades happening. And so it's like all systems go, okay? And so if there's anything that you've been kind of kicking around in your head, you might want to at least try it. And by the way, I just want to say one more thing about the third house. The third house is also about certification. So if you are somebody who has a certain career and you're looking to advance, and you can do so by getting, an extra credential, that might be a good time to do it, because the solar eclipse is going to be in effect for, as I said, at least half a year or so. And during that time period, that may be a time when you're going to be training so that you will see your income streams, or, the money that you earn increase. And sometimes when people do get certain training, they can really propel themselves forward at a much higher level, wherever they're working at, and make a better life for themselves. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this, Capricorn, and I wish you all the best in February. If you'd like a private reading, please click on the link below. My website is RenaMoonAstrology.com. Take care. Bye.